The face of terrorism in America might look a little different than you've been led to expect, and this is coming from analysis of 14 years of fatal terror attacks in America. Since September 11th, 2001, nearly twice as many people have been killed by white supremacists, anti-government fanatics, and other non-Muslim extremists than by radical Muslims. 48 have been killed by extremists who are not Muslim, compared with 26 by self-proclaimed jihadists.
Oh, wow. Wow. Let's just dive into this mess. I love these progressives, man. They get some talking point, gets floated out in their remarkably biased subculture, and they all just start frothing at the mouth like, oh, did you hear that stat? Oh, it's so cool. Oh my God, I'm gonna do a whole video on this. It's gonna be fucking amazing. Watch. My ears perked up when, and yours should too, when it's 2015 and you hear somebody say, over the past 14 years, that's weird. Why would you start a survey in 2001? That seems a bit odd. Why not just make it a clean 15 and start from the new century? Surely that would be a logical starting point. Call it 21st century terror. Why on earth do you think they started this survey on September 12th, 2001? I wonder if the numbers would be slightly skewed if they included the year 2001. And remember that one incident, the most horrific terrorist attack on American soil in the history of time? These progressives are basically like, yeah, let's not count that. Okay, we're going to do a do-over. So starting now. Starting now. After that. Oh my God, is that heinous, unbelievable cherry picking. Let's include that stat. Let's include 9/11, just for a shit and a giggle, shall we? Because it does slightly affect the numbers here in this incredible statistic you guys have manufactured. So you're saying it's 48 for everybody in the world that isn't Muslim in America and 26 for the Muslims in America, which is so deeply not impressive considering that the Muslims of America make up 0% of America. And they have 26 of the murders of terrorist attacks? Jesus Christ, the only thing scarier than that is your thought process that that's an impressive stat, that that's a stat that helps you, that defends Muslims. Jesus! So Muslims make up 0%, 0.8 officially, 0% of America. And then they're taking from a pool of right-wingers? They're basically taking from a pool of everybody else. It's just this vague, if you're anti-government, if you're a white supremacist, if you're a non-Muslim extreme, it's Muslims in America, 0%, versus everybody else in America. And the final number they have is 48 to 26? Dude! This is a fucking joke! Now, let's include the numbers from 9/11. And slightly different when you add 2,973 victims. So Muslims in America have killed, let me do the math, in my head. Oh man, 2,999. Oh, so close to 3,000. Couldn't quite get there. God damn it, Muslims. I'm sure one of the hundreds of severely injured people during 9/11, we can pretty much mark them off as dead. I mean, they're missing limbs and their life expectancy is shit now, thanks to you. But officially, we just missed 3,000. So 3,000 to 48. Now I see why you started this on September 12th. And now let's look at these numbers. Some very interesting things. These are very up to date, by the way. Here's a stat. Deadly right-wing attacks. Now that includes the Charleston church shooting, which happened this month, very recently. Now let's glance over here at the deadly jihadist attacks. What are we basing this on? First of all, I love the fact, let's not make this a global debate over Muslim versus right-wing terror. That's not going to go well for them. They knew that from the start. They're like, no, let's pick a country where there's 0% Muslims and we'll just crunch the numbers then. Well, avoiding the major, huge attack that killed 3,000 people. Let's do that. So in this graph, why are we not including American citizens who were killed overseas by Muslim terror? So when ISIS beheads an American journalist, that doesn't make this list? Somebody tell me why. Oh, is it terrorist attacks on the contiguous United States? It has to be on American soil? What an outrageous statistic. And also, I find oddly missing from this list, is the Garland shooting, where two jihadists, Americans, went into a cartoon competition and shot up the place with AK-47s. Now, they didn't kill anybody, but they were killed. They were two American citizens that are now dead due to their terrorism. How is that not on this list? That was a deadly jihadist attack that ended with two Americans dead. I love the fact, this tells you everything you need to know about who is making the decisions as to what gets on this list and what doesn't. How are those two people not on this list? Because they happened to be the shooters? They're still American citizens. They're two people that will never be rehabilitated. They will never be de-radicalized or converted to not be insane Muslims. They're dead from a terrorist attack. How is that not on this list? Fucking shameful. And even still, 48 to 26 is a ghastly number. Forget the 3,000 to 48. In fact, if you add those two dead from Garland, that's 3,001 to 48. Now what? If you look at those numbers, what are we supposed to think? Should we recalibrate our thought about the danger of Muslim violence? Should we factor in that global terrorism, 99% of the deaths caused by global terrorism come from Muslims? Let me just repeat that, just so you can have that statistic with you at all times. 99% of the deaths caused around the world, not in little subsections of the world where there's 0% Muslims. No, around the world, including everything, it's 99%. So these fucking yokels pick a country with 0% Muslims, start a statistic on September 12th, 2001, and then don't include Americans who are killed overseas or Americans who happen to be the jihadists. Oh, brilliant. And it's still a ridiculous number. Fucking unbelievable. So, people, what you have to understand is, look, there's 48 deaths. If we look at this subset of time here, we have 48 deaths from white people and right-wingers, and only a mere 26 from Muslims, who represent 0% of the population. So basically, our point is that the 99.2% of America are more likely to commit an act of violence than the 0.8%. So, really, guys, is there really a problem here? I mean, all you neocons have your panties up in a bunch over nothing.
And as we're going to get into when we show you the details of this analysis, this is a massive underestimate of the total number of people who have been killed because of conservative, right-wing, anti-government, sovereign citizen, those sorts of movements. So this is an extremely polite count from their point of view.
And look at the graphic. Oh my God, oh God, it's bile churning. My insides are just wrestling for position, jockeying for position. My intestine and my kidney. Terror level white. Oh, beautiful. What the fuck is this racism? What is that? Hey, you fucking idiots, you self-loathing Jew, and you brown fat disaster. I, as a representative of all white people around the world, say fuck you for your overt racism. And also, a little side note, when you have a country that's 78% white, then everything in that country is going to be mostly white. The majority of shoe repairmen in America are white. The majority of kidney stones that are passed are from white people. Everything is from white people. If you go to Turkey, 100% of shit that happens in Turkey is going to be by Turkish people. Do you see how this works? If you go to Madagascar, you're going to find that it's mostly black. 99% black. And guess what? The terror attacks in Madagascar come from mostly black people. You're fucking geniuses.
So I just wanted to ask you guys, has the Lord revealed your new name to you?
Go on!
And if he has, type it in the comments section down below. Because I prayed to the Lord earlier about my new name, and I thought I heard Ezekiel.
Ezekiel.
I thought I heard Ezekiel.
What?
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel.
But I'm not sure. I need to keep praying. So if the Lord has revealed your new name to you, please comment down below. God bless you.
What country you from?
What?
What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what?
What?
English, motherfucker! Do you speak it?
It doesn't really make sense.
Then you know what I'm saying. Describe what Marcellus Wallace looks like.
What?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time.
And there's a verse that I wanted to share here.
Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Ezekiel